go. Running about a minute behind today. Maybe a little more. But we're getting there. Coffee's brewing. I can't do my countdown. I'm still pouring. This is live TV. This is what happens. Sometimes you're not ready. There it goes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. It's October 30th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. That's very, very warm, but good. Well, hello, cat. You should sit next to me. Not on me. Next to me. Oh, Friday. We made it. We made it this far, anyway. Week. It's felt like a really long week. A lot of things just moving around on me, kind of last minute. Some of which I initiated, some of which others initiated. And it's going to be a busy weekend. Got a couple cars I'm going to go look at. Waiting to hear back from somebody. There's a private sale and there's a dealer. There's a dealer that's got a really good price on a admittedly older 4Runner. That, yeah, if it's in good shape, if the frame's in good shape, it's probably worthwhile. I want more sleep. What's that meme I see go around on social media from time to time? Oh, puppy. It's kind of the vibe I'm feeling right now. Got my buddy coming over to do some work on the house. 43, which I'm not looking forward to, and we're digging. There's digging involved, so that's... Ugh. But it's better than doing it when it's 50 and raining, which is Sunday. And when I looked at the weather before I went to bed, Tuesday was supposed to have a high of 30 and a low of 18. It's October. I mean, granted, we did have 85 degrees earlier in the month. 80 degrees. Okay, I have a cozy home and heat and warm clothes. Stacy says good morning, and she's agreeing with the chaos of the week. Cyber attacks bite. Oh, is that what's going on at the hospital? Oh, sorry to hear that. Looking forward to Funday Friday. Yay! With Jeremy and Frank. Maybe someday we'll get Frank. I don't know. Why is there so much cat hair on my beard? Oh yeah, because there's a cat. I don't know if we can get Frank live on this. Maybe he'd be willing to come on Whistlekick Live at some point. Frank, if you're watching, I'm sure you're watching at some point. Let me know what you think. So what's going on today? Today I was gonna hang out with one of my clients pretty much for the day, see if I could give them some feedback. And when we still didn't have a full logistical plan last night at 6 o'clock, I pulled the plug. Because that means things are chaotic for them. And I don't want to step into chaos. I'm not going to be able to get good information and really make the observations I want to. So instead, I'm probably going to do some virtual time with that business's office manager and unpack a few things that we've been working on to improve efficiency in the business and try to reduce the chaos. And so that means that my day is much more open than it was going to be, which means the the bits of work that I had pushed into Sunday, hopefully, knock on wood, I can get done today. It'll make me really happy. So I'll probably do a few hours here, go over to Panera, do a few hours there, and if all goes well, I'll be done sometime early afternoon. I need it. I need the time. Maybe I'll take a nap. And I'll probably go to the gym today. Anything else going on this weekend? Tomorrow's Halloween. The weirdest Halloween that we've probably had in ever. You know, I remember as a kid, the biggest thing to be concerned about with Halloween was, you know, don't go to houses you don't know and don't eat unwrapped candy. And now it's just become, I don't even, what's the word that you would use to describe trying to give Halloween to your kids in a way that doesn't make, that's both safe and doesn't make people freak out? That's threading a needle that I'm glad I don't have to. Now, I've never had kids come here. I think the first 2 years I bought candy, and not one child came. And so the last few years, I've not bothered. What is this, my 7th Halloween here? 8th. This would be my 8th Halloween in this house. So I just haven't bothered. I usually leave the house and go hang out with people, or sometimes I'll go to my parents and hand out candy with them. They live in an area where they get a ton of trick-or-treaters. But this year, it's just, yeah. So I'm gonna go have dinner with friends. See how it goes. What am I saying? See how it goes. It'll be fun. I have fun with him. He's a good friend. That's not YouTube. Do I have anything else to talk about? I don't think so. Oh, here's one thing. If you are at all interested in maybe not a unique, but probably our highest rated apparel item of all time, we've brought it back temporarily. There is a pre-order set up on whistlekick.com for the Cloud9 printed sweatpants. It's a great sweatpant. It lasts. The reason we're doing a short run of them is because we can't do them on demand. And so we're doing pre-order. They're $45 for adult sizes with shipping in the US. So go ahead, grab a pair. They last. I think we haven't done those in at least 3 years. So I've got 2 pairs that are 3 years old, and they have held up incredibly well. Check it out. One of the many ways that you can support what we do here at Whistlekick. All right, Frank's got jokes for us. Let me do those. I always look forward to the jokes because jokes are fun, and these are Halloween themed. The jokes for Funday Friday. What do ghosts drink at breakfast? Coffee with scream and sugar. Where does a ghost go on vacation? Malibu. Why do ghosts like to ride elevators? It raises their spirits. What is a mummy's favorite type of music? Rap. Spelled with a W. Where do mummies go for a swim? To the Dead Sea. Why didn't the skeleton go to see a scary movie? He didn't have the guts. Why did the skeleton cross the road? To go to the body shop. Two more. Who was the most famous skeleton detective? Sherlock Bones. Why is a skeleton never mad? Because nothing gets under his skin. Thanks, thanks, Frank. Those are good. I like it. There's something to be said for humor, for jokes. I find comedy, stand-up comedy, to be one of the truest art forms. Because it requires other people. It's collaborative. And I don't mean collaborative as in the audience participation. I just mean that if you've ever given a presentation and you tried to put a joke in there and the joke didn't land well, or the audience wasn't into it, maybe they weren't expecting it, or they were distracted. Even for the people who heard it, even for the people who thought it was funny, it's not as funny. You ever been in a room with a group of people and everyone starts laughing and you feel yourself laughing? Even though you don't know why? Or the joke or the comment wasn't that funny? There's something really powerful in that. And I listen to a few podcasts that have stand-up comedians. Actually doing some work for one of them. And they talk about how off they feel, how out of practice they are. You know, a lot of them tried to do stuff over Zoom, and that didn't last long because it doesn't work. It's not the same. I'm busy. You can, I don't know, you can go lay down. I'm doing a show. She's been kind of I think she's having a rough go of it. She made some noises yesterday I haven't ever heard her make. I think her dementia's getting worse, which really bums me out. But anyways, back to stand-up comedy. You look at these comedians and they just don't know what to do. You know, such a big component of who they are. They don't have it right now. Because in order for comedy to work, you have to have other people, and they have to be there with you and involved in that experience, and that's an intimate arrangement. The closest thing I can relate it to in my life is sparring. When was the last time I sparred with anybody? February? That's weird. I'm a martial artist. To not get to interact with someone else physically, it's not a thing I know how to do. Why don't you sit right there? Sit right there. Well, I think it's time to see what Frank wrote in for questions and comments. I don't see anything from anybody else today. Remember, I like the variety. Frank is not offended when the rest of you write things in. It's okay. And he says, I thought today we would do something on the lighter side. Here are 4 more fortunes. Ideas are like children. There are none so wonderful as your own. I think quite often, and for most people, maybe even usually, and for most people. Yeah. And I don't know that I can explain why. And we tend to get attached to our ideas. They tend to have personal bias involved that we might not be aware of. That was my stomach. Apparently, I'm hungry. Gabe says amen to that. Ideas are important, powerful. See, I'm thinking about this. What's rolling through my head right now is this notion of being tied to your ideas. And I'm probably a bit atypical in this, at least over the last few years, as I've come to realize that some of my ideas have been terrible and even detrimental to things I'm trying to accomplish. So I've taken a much harder look at my ideas. Before I implement an idea, I'll write it down, I'll flesh it out, and I'll leave it for a little while. I've even had other ideas that in the moment I thought, this is a brilliant idea, and then realized, you know what, if it's brilliant, it will come back. I like coming up with ideas. I love that's where my creativity comes in. But there's only so much time, only so much money, only so much energy to implement those ideas. And the new shiny idea is not more important than the idea that's already in progress. Well, I guess you are going to sit on me, aren't you? I don't really have a choice in this anymore. I mean, I do, but I guess I will relent, because you're a crabby old kitty. Lizard's tail says hi. All right. Number 2, excuses are easy to manufacture and harder to sell. Hard to sell. What I find interesting is you can use the word reason and the word excuse pretty much interchangeably, but there's a judgment in each. A reason is usually of something you would see as valid. I'm not going to go to the grocery store today because I have too much work to do. Could be a reason, could be an excuse. And what's interesting is how different people can see it in different ways. What if I'm perceived as being lazy? That's an excuse. What if I'm perceived as being productive and dedicated to my work? And it's a reason. They're almost the same thing. One of the things I've been thinking about lately, I had a conversation with someone about this, I think it was yesterday even, is how we make decisions emotionally and then we look for logic to justify them. In that example, I don't want to go to the grocery store for whatever reason. I just don't want to. But I'm a functional adult, so I have to have a reason. I have to have an excuse for why I'm not going to the grocery store. I'm not going to the grocery store because I have too much work to do. That's generally accepted by others. I don't want to go to the grocery store because I just don't want to do it. That sounds childish. So, we make decisions and then we back them up in some way. And if you think about that when you're talking to people, you can often get to the bottom of why they are doing or not doing the thing that they're doing or not doing. You can find the emotional place. And if you can respond to that indirectly. And sometimes you can get a better result if you're trying to adjust someone's behavior. That's where that becomes important. Give what you have to someone it may be better than you dare to think. I've talked before about how, there are literally millions, if not billions of people in the world who would give up everything to be where you are in life right now. Some of those people may be in other countries, other parts of the world. Some of them may be your neighbors. We have this tendency to normalize what we have and where we are and want more. And that's a good thing. We should always be striving for more. That iterative process in life. I mean, it is the heart of martial arts. Martial arts. Mm, that sounds like a terrible romantic comedy. Martial arts. A story about a man who finds love in the least likely of places. And then the trailer cuts to him getting the crud beat out of him by several different people wearing helmets, and then the last one takes off a helmet and it's a pretty woman, and it cuts back to him, and you can tell he's smitten. There we go. There's your concept. See? Ideas. I'm not going to work on that idea. I don't have time or resources or knowledge or connections to get a movie made. I have ideas for making movies, though. I have a really fun idea for making a movie that I've probably shared this. My tummy is very grumbly. I'll share this and then I'll come back to the quote. Okay, so imagine maybe not a bus, maybe a small bus, some kind of larger vehicle, not bigger than a car, traveling cross country, going from martial arts school to martial arts school, and filming on location and using people in the school as extras and smaller characters, you know, a couple lines here and there, and making film about something martial arts. Doesn't even really matter. And the people traveling around are, you know, the 2 to 3 stars and a camera person or two, and the gear. Be a pretty cheap movie. That'll be fun. Who doesn't want to be an extra in a movie? You know, you spend the day teaching everybody choreography and work out the fight scenes, and then, you know, for a few hours that evening you film. How fun would that be? That'd be a great time. I would be totally down to do that. So remember yesterday when I talked about options that I consider when this one here maybe chooses to be done? Stuff like that I think about. Give what you have to someone who may be better than you dare to think. I guess that to sum up, just be grateful about that. Whatever you have, be grateful for it. I am here. I've talked about this tablet and how old it is before. This tablet is from like 2012. 2013. It's old. But it works perfectly fine. I'm grateful to have it. I'm grateful that it has lasted this long. I'm grateful that I don't need to decide between spending money on a new tablet that I don't really need or not having one to do this show. This is really the only thing I use this tablet for, is this show. I'd probably find an old phone. I think I've got an old phone in the closet. In the pile. Everybody else has old phones, right? You keep an old phone in case your phone dies? I do. I like having spares. And our final quote for the day. Remember, if you've got quotes, comments, questions you want me to respond to, once the show closes, drop them in the comment section. And I will respond to them the next day, which in this case is Monday. Oh, remember when I used to do this show on weekends? Wow. I forgot about that. That was insane. All right. Last quote. Beauty will surround you. Open your eyes to see it. Kind of relates to the last one. We normalize all the things around us. I haven't given homework in a long time, but I'm going to give you homework today. I want you to try to find a minute, just 60 seconds in your day, to try to look at your life, your environment, with a fresh set of eyes. Imagine that someone from another part of the world showed up to visit you, and there's a cat face. She is very unhappy at the moment. And they saw you in your home and where it is and your belongings and where you live and just all of it. What would they say? Do you, people joke about, well, I've never done the tourist stuff in my area. Why not? Why not go to those places? Why not see what you have available? Why not recognize the beauty and appreciate what you've got available? I think you should. I try to. There are days that I look out the back door, the patio doors there, and just, I'm so thankful. It's such a great spot. It's a great view. It's trees, and sometimes there are animals, and I love it. All right. There's more coffee to drink, but it's time to go. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you have an excellent Friday. I hope Frank's jokes brought you a chuckle or two. I always enjoy them. Thank you again, Frank. Thank you to all of you who watched or listened. If you're listening, remember, it's a podcast. You can write me. Jeremy@whistlekick.com if you've got questions or stuff for the show. What else? If you want to support us, Patreon or make a purchase at whistlekick.com. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have an excellent, amazing, wonderful weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday.